Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhapa. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight. Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name identification of Amitabha. Sumo Tanjan Katsu Tutan Siddhi Tutan Kama. All Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? Today, we would like to welcome from Singapore my sister Ji Chen and her husband. They're internet celebrity. Many people, upon watching their programs, would buy Grandmaster's books through the Bibi Boyer. So many books published by D.B. Boyer sell really well there. So that you can come to our smallest temple, and the weather here is different from Singapore. It's colder, but a few days ago it was even colder. Today is considered to be quite warm and mild. I know in Singapore there are two seasons. One is hot and the other one is hotter. The first time we went to Singapore, and after sunset I thought it must be cool. But when I got out, it's still a whiff of warm breeze. So Southeast Asia, the weather is hot there, hotter. Our summers here are very nice, very cool and not so hot. And the winters are colder, very cold. It's slightly better this year. Generally, there will be snow everywhere this time of year. That's because Grandmaster is here. It's not because of that. I was just thinking that because it would be more convenient to drive to the Rainbow Temple, so move the snow to the north, to the south, so only Redmond has no snow. But there's snow everywhere, in Vancouver, Oregon. Only this side of Seattle, just being moved out a little bit. So it's not that we had no snow. And it's not to my credit. It's to Havajra. Because he has many arms. And two of his arms are holding the sun and the moon. So he is in control of the weather. So I told Havajra, when I got to Rainbow Temple, please don't snow. But it can snow at the time after I left. And please no windstorm when I'm at the Rainbow Temple. But after I left the Rainbow Temple, let it. Is that right? Yeah, in the future maybe it shouldn't be like that. That's against the nature and the weather. That's not good. We should just let it be. If there should be a wind, strong wind, then let it be. If it's supposed to snow, let it snow. Someone's birthday today. Let me sing a birthday song. Happy birthday. Oh, I forgot today. Today we practice Amitabha Buddha as the Yidam, the Western Pure Land of utmost bliss appeared right in front of our eyes. And of those, there is one scene that's very dazzling and brilliant, very beautiful, with all kinds of colors. And now, this is Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Kuan Yin. If you saw it the same as Grandmaster, I would give you this Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And this one is Maitreya Bodhisattva. Anyone saw the same as Grandmaster, I would give you Maitreya Bodhisattva. Anyway, this is from the gift shops. Just now, who had this divine seeing, and what did you see? You can tell, Grandmaster. It appeared. Very colorful. Who had the true sighting? Please stand up and say it. Anyone? Several people here have divine seeing and can see. If nobody saw it, then I would keep this to myself. Anybody? Please raise your hand. Because what everybody sees sometimes is different from each other. Who sneezed? Did the person who sneezed saw something? Should I call on names? Yes. Who said that? Who? Then you should stand up and say something. Okay, please be seated. Han Yi has divine seeing. Did you see? What did you see? It's probably it's lotuses floating everywhere, and the Dharma bodies of Amitabha and many Dharma vessels above. That's about 90%. Many color lotuses, that is correct. And who are on top of the lotuses? I think I saw Grandmaster, but I'm not sure. You should have said Padma Kumara. All different colors of Padma Kumara, standing on all colors of lotuses. Many colors lotuses, and above the lotuses are the different colors of Padma Kumaras. The most clear and bright. Did you see Amitabha Buddha? Yes. Because Padma Kumara is Amitabha Buddha. Padma Kumara was emanated by Amitabha Buddha. The whole of Sukhavati was emanated by Amitabha Buddha. is emanated by Amitabha Buddha, manifested by Amitabha Buddha. And Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva and Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva are both Padma Kumaras, or lotus youths. In ancient time, long ago, they are the Bao San youth and Bao Yi youth, the Supreme Mind youth and the Jeweled Mind youth. And one is Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, and the other one is Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva. And they are all Padma Kumaras. So during the era of Sakyamuni Buddha, he was once the king Veda, and he went to the lotus pond. That was the past life of Sakyamuni Buddha. One of his past 500 lives, he was once the king Veda, and he went to the bank of the lotus pond, and the lotuses blossom, and one on top of one is the Supreme Mind youth, and the other one Jeweled Mind youth, and the Avalokiteshvara Mahastamaprapta. So this Supreme Mind youth and Jeweled Mind youth guided Sakyamuni Buddha to meet the Pure Light Secret Buddha, or Pure Light Buddha. Pure Light Buddha. So that was such an event. So in one of Sakyamuni Buddha's 500 lifetimes, when he cultivated bodhisattvahood, he was King Veda. And in one lifetime, he went to meet Dipamkara Buddha. And at such time, he was called the said Sanhui or Suduna. This is for you. This is very beautiful. And this one is for myself. Because nobody said anything. Because we've talked about it. Let me share a joke. A family of a mentally ill patient told the doctor, well, his illness has been a long time. He did not want to see a doctor, and every time he always said that he had no problem at all. And the psychiatrist said that usually people with this kind of illness will never recognize or admit that they have mental illness, and that is true. Sumit. So the mentally ill patient asked the doctor, how about you, doctor? Do you have this illness? And the doctor replied, of course not. I have a psychiatrist friend with the family named Liu, and his name is Liu Zhaoxian, Dr. Liu. Every time he spoke to the mentally ill patients, he always did this. I asked him, do psychiatrists have illnesses? And they said, definitely not. I was just imitating the illness of the patients. When the patient did this, I did this too, which means that I'm the same as them. It would be easy to cure them this way. And in Hualien, there was a psychiatrist who's true Buddha school disciple in Taiwan, and he confirmed that's the case. Do you remember the joke? An old lady had a mental illness. Every time she was holding an umbrella and sit at the gate of the hospital, and the umbrella, sometimes white, sometimes black, sometimes different colors. And whether it's rain or shine, anytime, she's holding the umbrella, an umbrella. So the psychiatrist walked out and also holding an umbrella and sat next to her. And the old lady asked the doctor, "Are you also a mushroom? Are you also a mushroom?" And the doctor said, "Yeah, I am a mushroom." So he knew that the old lady is regarding herself as a mushroom because the umbrella looks like a mushroom. Then he would know her illness, her problem. A psychiatrist would do the same thing with the patient. Then he would understand what kind of problems they have, what kind of hallucinations they have, and then they would give the proper medicine accordingly. A couple was arguing, and the husband could not win over the wife, so he just lay on the bed without moving at all. And the wife asked, "What are you doing on the bed?" And the husband said, "I'm dead." And the wife asked, "Then why are your eyes still open?" And the husband said, "Because I died. I can't close my eyes when I die," which means, this is also Chinese pun. But that, how come you're still breathing? Because I just can't handle this. Actually, man can never win over the woman in arguments because they can continue nag endlessly. So when you hear the voice is not right, then you should just avoid and just go away until she calms down, and then you can come back. It's not my method, okay? Please don't misunderstand. Because, and therefore, the temperature has gotten colder. I wanted to buy a down jacket, but it cost 5,000 NT dollars, Taiwan dollars. And I was thinking that the cold medicine is only $100, so I might as well. It's better to catch cold then. Now we'll do the Q&A. Question from Hong Kong. I'd like to know if dreaming means we enter another dimension. Why? Sometimes we can create things in dreams. For example, when my husband knows that he can freely fly in the dreams, and he can also change spaces. I found a book saying this is a lucid dream. I also want to know what Grandmaster thinks. So the husband, so I had the same dreams as the husband's. Often in the dreams, if I want to go home, and passing through mountains, I would fly, passing another mountain. I can do it. And sometimes in the dreams, I was thinking, can I fly? So I stand on a high rise and extend one leg and see if I can fall, if I would fall. And I tried, and to see if I would fall. And when the leg felt solid, so, and then I stepped using the other leg, and I stay in the sky, in the space, in the air. So I started to fly. I could fly. And the same thing with the White River. Could I fly across? And I did. I could. And you're telling me that this is a lucid dream. I don't know what lucid dream is, frankly speaking. I never read a book about dreams. What is a lucid dream? That must be the day that we will pass, which is the ancestors' day or memorial day, that we all will celebrate in the future. We cannot celebrate Children's Day, and we cannot celebrate Youth's Day, but in the future we will celebrate Memorial's Day for the elderlies. In the near future, we will celebrate the Memorial Day or Ancestors' Day, because on those days, the family members would come to the cemeteries to see us. I'm talking about myself. But I've never heard of this term, lucid dream. You found it on the internet? Oh, that's different. It's a different words. When you are dreaming, you're still conscious and aware. And that's different from daydreaming. so that in sleep and dreaming you still maintain a conscious state. But daydreams as you don't enter into the state of sleep, but you have other thoughts. So that's conscious dreams. It was defined by a doctor from Holland. So the dreams I had is also this conscious dreams, so that I still maintain a conscious awareness in the dreams. I can fly, and I see people down there and they cannot fly, only I am the only one flying. And sometimes I fly right above their heads and feel very honored, very pleased about it. And I just flew to show them. I flew especially to show them. She said she wanted to know Grandmaster's thoughts on this. They often enter a dimension. Actually, today, seated on the Dharma throne, did I fall asleep? I did not nod my head this time. I knew it. But there was slightly off, but then I pull it back right away, right? Did you see? Then your eyes were open. Weren't you meditating? Why did you keep your eyes open? But asking you a question like this is my mistake. In meditation, your eyes is half closed, half open. Your eyes is looking at the tip of your nose. And the tip of the nose is looking there. So you wouldn't be able to see me, so that means your eyes are open. So you didn't enter meditation. So this is what I'm telling you. You're not meditating and you're opening your eyes looking at Grandmaster, and that's not right. However, I really entered into contemplation. When I was slanted, I immediately make myself upright again. I didn't fall asleep. I was totally conscious. And I could see at the Sukhavati, there are all different colors of lotuses with Padma Kumara standing on top of them, above them. That's how I saw it. Strictly speaking, your eyes are half open, half closed in meditation. In meditation, you don't close your eyes completely, but lowered and looking at the tip of your nose. In the Kung Fu novels, it's written, the eyes looking at the tip of the nose and the tip of the nose looking at your heart. That's called one-pointedness or single-pointedness. Placing your mind on one point. That's how you do it. So we've entered into another dimension, and that's true. I've gone into a different world. I've seen the Sukhavati with many different colored lotuses, and the lotuses are as huge as a wheel cart, and above them are Padma Kumaras of different colors. So what Dharma Sister Han Yi said, she saw lotuses with different colors. She saw Amitabha Buddha, and Padma Kumaras are emanated by Amitabha Buddhas. And they were also Amitabha Buddhas. They are all Amitabha Buddhas. That's why we refer to them as the 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name, identification of Amitabha. In the future, those who attain Buddhahood in Sukhavati would all be called Amitabha Buddha. That's what it means. So you really have entered into a different dimension. Actually, the Saha world is also a dimension. When you read Vimalakirti Sutra, you would know. Last time, I asked Dharma Sister Xiaokun to look into my sleeve. And she said, there is the palace of the Dragon King inside Grandmaster's sleeve. And before that, I have written it, that there's the Dragon Palace. And then, sure enough, what she said was correct. The palace of the Dragon King. So in this inconceivable sutra, it mentioned about this, another dimension of the spatial dimension. Vimalakirti, although he's a lay Buddhist, he's also a great Bodhisattva and also a Buddha. He has great transcendent powers. That's why he's inconceivable. He could make the 3,000 great thousand world to fit into the skin pore. Just imagine how tiny the skin pore is. But 3,000 great thousand world can fit in it. But all the people of the 3,000 great thousand worlds did not know that they have entered into the skin pore of Vimalakirti's skin, and they were not affected, and they don't affect each other. He had such a power. Now we will talk about the Vimalakirti Sutra. The Dharma is name unconditioned. Buddha nature has no action, non-action. The Dharma is name unconditioned. If one acts with conditions, then one strives for the condition and not seeking Dharma. So, if you have actions, then that's not Buddha Dharma, that's not Buddha nature. Because Buddha nature has no action, non-actions. That Buddha nature is suchness. Buddha nature abides in suchness. Actually, there is no abiding, and it's not fixated at any place. And Buddha nature also has no action. When we do good deed or perform charity, and when they donate money to a temple, they would wish that their name is written somewhere, how much this person donates and that person donates. So for the building of the temple, the names are listed, and that's conditioned, because once they donate money, they want everyone to know that they have donated an amount of money. If you're unconditioned, you just donate it. Doesn't matter whether it's being reported on TV or newspaper, it's all the same. Doesn't matter. That's unconditioned or non-action. So Jesus, my guru, has said, don't let the left hand know what good deeds the right hand does. This is unconditioned, non-action. So even Jesus Christ understood about this unconditioned. We should understand to be unconditioned. Whatever we do, we should not necessarily let everybody know. If you do any good deed, you want to make it known. That's conditioned. If you're asking for Dharma seed, that's conditioned. You come to listen to the Dharma. Therefore, Sariputra, a Dharma seeker, you want to come listening to my Dharma teaching. A Dharma seeker does not seek anything at all. When Vimalakirti spoke these words, 500 celestial princes. What is a celestial prince? That's the same as a heavenly being. Obtain pure Dharma eyes regarding all Dharmas. Instantly they have Dharma eyes. There are 5 kinds of eyes. Buddha eyes, Dharma eyes, wisdom eyes, physical eyes, Buddha eyes, divine eyes. Buddha eyes, wisdom eyes, Dharma eyes, divine eyes, and physical eyes. 5 kinds of eyes. And they obtain the pure Dharma eyes upon hearing Vimalakirti's words. 500 celestial princes obtain pure Dharma eyes regarding Dharmas. So 500 does not mean exactly 500, but it means many. So at that time, the elder Vimalakirti asked Manjushri Bodhisattva, worthy one. So he knew Manjushri had the great origin, because Vimalakirti was Jinsu Tathagata. And Manjushri Bodhisattva is the for the supreme king of the dragon clan, Buddha. So Sakyamuni Buddha was also called the benevolent one, or the worthy one. The mantra of Sakyamuni Buddha. Moni means the benevolent one, or the worthy one. So the worthy one referred to Manjushri Bodhisattva. As you have traveled through immeasurable thousands of millions of billions of Ashamka lands. You have traveled the most Buddha lands, immeasurable. Actually, in each of the Buddha verse, there is Manjushri Bodhisattva. Manjushri Bodhisattva has innumerable emanations or manifestations. Which Buddha lands have the wonderfully superior meritorious lion seed? So you have traveled through so many Buddha verses. Which Buddha verse has the most wonderful and sublime and meritorious lion seed? The Dharma throne is also called the lion seat. The Dharma throne of Sakyamuni Buddha is called the lion seat, was called the lion seat. At that time, they called it the lion seat, but nowadays, any place where Grandmaster sits is called the lion seat, although there are no lions sculpted on it. So Grandmaster is seated on the Dharma throne. It's the same as to be seated on the lion seat. So you have traveled through so many Buddha verses. Do you know which Buddha verse has the most marvelous, wonderful, greatest, magnificent lion seat? And Manjushri Bodhisattva replied, Lay Master, referring to Vimalakirti, in the eastern direction, beyond 36 Ganges River sands of worlds, from here to the east, beyond 36 Ganges River sands of worlds, and we all know about Ganges River. In the Buddhist Sutras, there are often analogies about Ganges River. So the amount of the sands in Ganges River, do you know how many of them? Infinite. And 36 Ganges rivers? Oh my gosh. Oh my grandma. Oh heavens. The amount of 36 Ganges rivers sands. That many Buddha lands. There is a world called Sumeru-like. Sumeru-like. And the Buddha there is called the Sumeru Light King Buddha. It's mentioned in the Hiking Vimalakirti Sutra, which is the Sumeru Light King Buddha announced by Buddha. So, after the pure secret Buddha, Dharma, treasure, Triumphal King Buddha, reliance, glory, and divine speed, and there is the Sumeru Light King Buddha announced by Buddha. When we chant Hiking Vimalakirti Sutra, the fourth Buddha mentioned in Hiking Vimalakirti Sutra after the pure light secret Buddha. So Sumeru Light King Buddha. So the body of that Buddha is 84,000 yojanas tall. 84,000 yojanas. One yojana is 40 miles. 84,000 times 40 miles. So how tall is that? Amitabha. It's indescribable. That's very tall. And nowadays, Grandmaster is wearing this high heel shoes. Maybe I just increase about 5, 6 to 7 centimeters. Increase my height by 5, 6, 7 centimeters. Can Grandmaster grow taller? Your Dharma body is very tall. Have you seen it? Imagination. Anybody has seen my Dharma bodies? Han Yi has seen it. Lin Qi Lian Yan also have seen it. The two of you. My Dharma body can be tall or short. So, Han Yi, how is my Dharma body that you have seen? It can be like this. You're right. You're right. Not just tall, but it can be as small as a seed, a small seed. A little bit like the head of the needle. That's very tiny. So the height of this Buddha is 84,000 times 40 miles. One yojana is 40 miles. And his lion seat is also 84,000 yojanas in height. The same height as he is, foremost in its magnificent adornments. His lion seat or Dharma throne is the best. It's beautiful and magnificent. Thereupon, the elder Vimalakirti manifested his transcendent powers. Instantly, the Sumeru-like King Buddha brought 32,000 lion seat, each tall, white, magnificent, and pure, into Vimalakirti's room. That's an impossible thing. How big is Vimalakirti's room? 32,000 lion seats, tall, white, and magnificent and pure. Instantly, the Sumeru-like King Buddha knew that Vimalakirti needed these lion seats, these Dharma seats, and brought them all into his room. This is called transcendent power. How big is his room? Small. But this huge Dharma seats can fit into this room. Just one lion seat would be bigger than the city of Vaisali. But he sent it into Vimalakirti's room. So 32,000 tall, white, magnificent, and pure lion seat into Vimalakirti's room. Those were unlike anything ever seen before by the Bodhisattvas, great disciples, Indra, Brahma, the four heavenly kings, and the assembly. So, all the Bodhisattvas, great disciples, Indra, Brahma, whether they're ordained or not, have never seen anything like it before. And Vimalakirti's room became so vast that it could accommodate all 32,000 lion seat. At first, Vimalakirti's room, the bedroom, doesn't matter how big, probably at most as big as this Leichang temple. However, 32,000 lion seat can fit in it without any hindrance. The Dharma seats don't affect the room, and the room doesn't restrict or affect the lion seats. That's transcendent power. It is inconceivable. Like Grandmaster once fit the dragon palace inside the sleeve. So the dragon kings residing in the dragon palace would be like in an earthquake, right? They became really tiny. No, they're still as big as usual, but they could fit in the sleeve. So what was that? That's transcendent power. To fit the dragon palace inside the sleeve. I can even fit hells inside the sleeve. You don't believe it? You can come and look into my sleeve. If they are hells, I can invoke them and place them inside my sleeve. Only this would be called a transcendent power. So Vimalakirti manifested his transcendent powers. Instantly, the Sumeru-Light King Buddha brought 32,000 lion seat, each tall, white, magnificent, and pure, into Vimalakirti's room. These were unlike anything ever seen before by the Bodhisattvas, great disciples, Indra, Brahma, the four heavenly kings, and the assembly. The room became so vast and it could accommodate all 32,000 lion seats without any hindrance and without crowding the city of Vaisali or Jambudvipa or the four great continents. Everything appeared as usual. Strictly speaking, talking about real things, then of course these things will not fit in the city of Vaisali and Jambudvipa, which is the Sahaworld, and the four great continents, which are the four continents below the Mount Sumeru. Jambudvipa, Uttarakuru, Aryavadiva, and one more, the four continents under the Mount Sumeru. And the words on earth, the Saha world, is in the Jambudvipa continent. So Mount Meru and the four continents below it. Like I said earlier, Purva Videha in the east, and that's the place where the Monkey King, and Jambudvipa is where the Saha world is. Aparagodaniya and Uttarakuru, they are very peaceful worlds, especially the Aparagodaniya in the West. But the people there are enjoying great fortune. They don't want to go to other places. It's very nice over there. These are the 4 continents. And they don't feel it's crowded. So each of the Dharma throne of the Sumeru Light King Buddha is very huge. We could have crowd before great continents, but they didn't feel that way. And everything just went on as usual. So, talking up to here, let me share something realistic. Is it too late now? Have you ever seen a book called The Records of the Peach Blossom Orchards? It's like this. Just a brief overview of this book. I have read it long ago, and I have forgotten many of the plots in there. I just briefly. Someone lived in a village, and he loved to go on trips. He would get on the boats, and there's a river, and he just floated on the river here and there. And one day, it just turned, and all of a sudden, the environment changed totally. He had entered into a different dimension, and he did not realize it. All of a sudden, he found out he could not find his way back, but the boat was still floating, and he got to a place, beautiful scenery, very nice. And there are people living there, and they welcome him. Where were you from? I've never met you before. And those people were very pleased seeing him. And they look young, and the ladies are beautiful, and the men are very handsome. And it's very strange. The houses are very beautiful. And nobody had to work because the clothes are hanging on the trees. Beautiful clothes. And whatever clothes they want to wear, they just get it from the trees. And the fruits grow from the ground, and you don't need to work, and you have food to eat. And wherever they want to go, they just close their eyes and they get there. And the houses, the abodes are very comfortable. And everyone welcomed him. And then he's invited to this family, and then the next day by another family. And it's rare that they have a guest. And he was invited everywhere and given beautiful clothes and of given very delicious food, things that he never tasted before. Very delicious and exquisite food. And he felt it's beautiful, it's delicious food, beautiful clothes, and very nice places to stay, and welcomed by everyone. Everyone is very kind and nice, and no thieves and no robbers, no disasters, and you have all that you need. And he lived there very happily. And a month later, all of a sudden, he thought of his home. I want to go home to I had my son, my grandson. I should go home and see them. It's been a month. I want to see them. Miss home. And told those people I wanted to go home. And those people told him, isn't it nice here? Why do you want to go home? You have food and clothes and houses and even girlfriends. There would be a beautiful girl marrying you. You have everything here. But he said, I want to go home and see my grandson. I wonder how he's doing now. So, since you miss home so much, let me point out how to go home. Your boat is here. Just get on the boat and go this direction. And there's a river. When you see the tree, then you turn. And he followed the direction. And all of a sudden, he saw a piece of land, which is the place where he used to live before. But he discovered that the village that he used to live was different. So he got off the boat and walked, and he did not recognize any of the people there. Whether older, younger, or children, nobody knew him. So he walked in that village, and the village had changed too. So he asked, was there this person living here before? And they said, yes, that's very, very long ago. I think it's the grandson of his grandson. I think maybe with the family name, that may be the descendant, and he was brought to see them. And that person did not recognize him either. What's your name? Okay, let's just as an example. His name is Zhen Hao. Just right. My name is Zhen Hao. What is your name? Oh, you are Zhen Hao? That's my grandfather's grandfather's grandfathers. And his name was Zhen Hao. So he's heard of this story that grandfather was traveling on a boat on the river and disappeared. And nobody in that village ever saw him again. And that was 200 years ago. So you are Zhen Hao? Then you are the missing grandfather's grandfather's grandfather. It's been 200 years since then. So this is also a very strange phenomena. So earlier about the dream, we are entering a different dimension and you go to a different world. And the 1 month there is the same as 200 years in the Saha world. So let me tell you, if you go to the Mahabrahma heaven, "100 years in the Mahabrahma heaven is the same as a cycle of the creation, existence, deteriorations, and emptiness of the Saha world." Let's just set an example, okay? 100 times. Just imagine how long the lifespan in the Mahabrahma heaven. So 1 day there is the same as, it's not exactly this number, okay, but (100) times the cycle of the creation, existence, and deterioration and emptiness of the earth. So from the creation to the destruction of the earth 100 times is the same as the 1 year in the Mahabrahma heaven. Like something like that. So the world is very mystical. So what I was mentioning, that was recorded in a classic of Chinese fable. I've forgotten the details, but it's a book that I read when I was young. And reading this Vimalakirti Sutra, and Vimalakirti did have such transcendent power. So it's the same as he changed all the dimensions. He had such a transcendent power.